Hey there, Stan Arthur here. I recently made a video called Good Night Mom, Good Night Dad. It was for Mother's Day. And let's just go take a look at that real quick so we can see what it looked like. The first thing you'll notice about this is it's a non-standard video size. It's not 16 by 9, but there is a good reason for that. Just
Good night, Mom. Good night, Dad. Thanks for taking care of me.
I see how hard you work to be the parents that you are.
Good night, Mom. Good night, Dad. It's time for you to rest so hard. As you fall asleep, I smile with the glowing in my heart. Good night, Mom. Good night, Dad. May your dreams take you away to some warm, enchanted place where angels sing to you. Good night, Mom. Good night, Dad. Before I go to sleep tonight, I want to say one thing just right. I love you too. Thank you.
okay. So I'm just going to go through the process of how this is made. In Premiere Pro, something I've been using for 20 years, even before it was called Premiere Pro, and it was just called Premiere. Starting it up, we're going to start the project from scratch. All the files were sent to me, and I just put it together. Okay, so we're going to start a new project, and I'm going to call this Good Night Kids. And this is the directory where I want to put it. I'm going to click OK. Project already exists because I already did, but I'm just replacing it. Okay, now we've got an empty project. I use this effects workspace. It's really all I ever use. They've got all these different workspaces, but I just use this. It works for me. So I'm going to go to the project here. I'm just going to pull this up, right click, import. And this is the folder I downloaded where all the assets are. I'm just going to grab them all and import them. Click open. And you see them populate here. And I'm just going to click on the list view instead of the icon view. This is the icon view, but I'm going to go with the list view for now. Okay. And all these files have conformed and they're ready to be used. So if I click on one, I've got this set on 200% here. I'm going to click to fit. And this is now showing up in the source window, the source panel. I'm going to make a quick change and put the source panel over here. And I don't need the program panel right now. We're not going to be using it right now. But if I double click on this and over in effects controls, I can see I have the master properties set. And first thing I'm going to do is add a Lumetri color effect to it, because my first process here is going to be look at all these clips and do color correction on them. Now I can hit the auto button over here for Lumetri, and it sets up a list in here effect, but they can be controlled from the Lumetri color panel. Now I can see it. What it did was it dropped the shadows when I hit auto. Now she's got white in her shirt, so I'm going to do the white balance selector here and just click on that. And color looks good to me. I'm going to leave it like that. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, here we have a vertical video, and it's looking a little dark. And I'm going to go ahead and click the auto on this one. And what did it do? I see it lowered the blacks, it raised the whites, it lowered the shadows. Exposure looks about the same. Let's get a look at the Lumetri scopes on here real quick. And it's a 90 IRE. That's pretty good. I could raise it up a little bit if I wanted to. Let's go ahead and do that. Just raising it up a little, the exposure a little bit. Okay, skin tone looks great. And I'm going to move on to the next clip. Okay, this is looking a little yellow. And I don't really see any white that I can click on to. We do have a gray shirt. We can try that just for fun. Let's hit the auto and see what happens. Yeah, well, it changed the black level, well, just change the black level and the shadows a little bit. And let's get a look at the scopes here. It's bright enough. I'm just going to try to do this white balance selector on his gray shirt. Blued it up a little bit. We don't want it so orange, but we don't want it blue either like that. So let's just eyeball it right about there. Yeah, I'm eyeballing it right now. And in the tint, between green and magenta, well, we don't like that magenta and we don't like it green. So let's just find that happy medium. I kind of liked what it did with the white balance selector. So I'm just going to do that one more time. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, it's a little too orangey for me, so I'm backing it off. Okay, I'm moving on. Oh, by the way, if you want to know how to do skin tones, if you want to balance it by skin tones, well, no, we can't do that in this step. We have to do that in another step. Anyway, moving on. Not going to worry about skin tones right now. I'm going to guess that this wall back here, this is very orange. I'm going to guess that this closet door back here is white. We're going to do a white balance selection on it. And I can tell that I'm going to want to, first of all, this is going to have to be cropped. And her skin tone's going to have to be adjusted. But we're going to do that after we start putting things on the timeline. Christina, this is just basic color correction. This already looks pretty good. There's no white in here to see what happens if we try to white balance off of that. Well, it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. It was a gray value. We're doing that. I'm gonna zoom in on this a bit. Skin tone even looks good. Yeah, but we can do an extra check on that later. Okay, obviously this is going to have to be cropped big time because she's just this little figure in this big old frame. Let's take a look at this one. Okay, we got some lighting issues here. We've got bright light coming in through here, very dark over here, and it's a bit overexposed over here. So, but the white balance is pretty good. The temperature, that is. The tint, pretty good. I'm just going to leave that alone for now. We're going to do some other stuff in there. Here's Janelle. And again, this is going to have to be cropped big time. I don't know if that wall is going to be white or beige. She's looking a little blue right now. I might want to orange her up just a little bit. Between the green and magenta, she's pretty much right in the center. I'm just going to leave that alone, move on. This is dark. I'm just going to hit auto for this one. Yeah, it didn't. You see, again, we got somebody against a light background, and he's darker complected, so this is going to be a problem. We're going to have to overexpose this a bit. For his skin tone, maybe orange him up just a little bit. Yeah, we don't want to get that orange effect on the wall. That's actually not bad. I'm going with that. Here's Victoria. Again, lots of empty space in this. Probably white here, so let's just go ahead and white balance on this door. And she's a little blue, so I'm just going to orange it up just a tad, just to warm it up a little bit. That's good. Here we go. And that's it. That's all of them. Okay. For some reason, we got the music track twice. Music only. Okay. Well, that's what I want. I want music only. Okay. We're going to start creating a sequence. I'm going to drag the first clip in and drop it. And that gives us a new timeline with Christina on it. And I can just start adding to this. I can take Janelle and drop her on. Oh, look, there's no audio. Why? Not sure. So double click on it. And look, the audio is not showing up in the source panel either. Okay, so we're going to undo that. Control Z. We're going to undo that. We're going to take Janelle and drop her into a new sequence. And then we're going to copy it. And then go back to this sequence. And since this is going to end up being our final sequence here, let's just go ahead and rename it. Well, just double click on it. We can rename it. I'm just going to call it final. All right. Okay. Now we copied from Janelle here. We just right clicked and copied it, right? Now, if we go back to final, we go back to final here, click on it here. And if I just move this cursor over off of here and go Control V, it's going to put it right there. I use the slash key to, you can hit the plus key and zoom in. You can hit the minus key and zoom out. You can hit the slash key and it'll just kind of open it up to the immediate area. All right, so I just want to put this on track 2, and that's just the fastest way I know of doing it. Okay, now we're on Tracy. Oh, look, Tracy has audio. Great, we're done with Tracy. Granville, no audio. Here we go again. Why is this happening? I don't know. It has something to do with the sequence characteristics that were, its properties. The sequence properties were chosen by the first clip you drop in there. So if there's some audio issue, maybe they're like, maybe it's because some of them are 44.1K and some of them are 48K. I don't know. Could be. That's why it's not working. But I'm going to copy it here. And then I'm going to go back to the sequence and pull this over here. I'm just going to Control V, paste it in, and look, there's the audio. I'm going to, oops, we have to drag this down. Okay. Now, you realize none of these are synced up. That was Granville. Talitha. Once again, no audio, so we're going to drop her into a new sequence. Copy it. We can hit Control C. We'll copy it. We don't have to right click and do that. We don't have to. We just hit Control C and go back to final over here, Control V, and that's going to put that on a new clip. And this is just the fastest way I know of doing it. Victoria. I think Victoria is going to have audio. Yes, she sure is. And Abril. You notice I'm dragging and dropping from here. No audio. Boo. All right, so we're going to have to take Abril and drop her in a new sequence. Make sure it's selected. Control C to copy. Go back to final. And Control V to paste it in. Look, we have audio now. So I'm moving it. Oh, if I do that, I'm going to overwrite the audio. I got to bring this. I got to drag this down to it. That'll create a new track. And boom. There we go. And we've got 2 left. Let's see. Raul. Oh, this is Raul and Kia. We drag them down. Nope, no audio. Once again, we have to create a new sequence. And Control C to copy it. We're going back to final. And Control V. There it is. Hit the slash key. Move this up to a new track. Drag this down to a new track. There. Well, boom. And drag it over. Okay, and our very last one. That was our last one. No, it wasn't. We got one more left. The 3 sisters. All right. And once again, no audio. We're going to delete that. We're going to drag it into its own sequence. Control C to copy it. We're back to final. And Control V to paste it in. And I'm just going to drag this up a little bit, give myself a little more space here. That creates a new track. That creates a new track. Now we have them all in there. And the only thing we don't have is the background music. So let's go ahead and drop that in there too. And that creates a new track. Okay. Well, we've done our basic color correction and we've put them on the timeline. So I believe that's enough for part 1 of this exercise. Part 2, we'll talk about getting it all synced together with the background track.